Hey, how are you? In this video, I'm going to talk about the difference on commission structure for P&C property and casualty and life and health, specifically more on the life insurance, why it's important, why you should definitely be focused on those products if you can and you have that license and you have the ability to sell life insurance. And meanwhile, the P&C and how that works and how it all comes together. So let's dive into it. So first off, I just want to say my agency here and our main focus is property and casualty, personal and commercial lines. Most actually that we're focused on, like we're 65% roughly commercial, 35% personal. That is our main focus in the book of business here in my office in Adelphia Insurance. So I want to talk about the difference between the commission structure on the personal commercial side and then the life insurance side, and how those two can come together and really build a super successful agency, make you a lot of money, and ultimately take you to the next level. And I think they all kind of work in their own ways. It's not necessarily one is right, one is wrong. Like, they all are important in their own ways. So first off, with the most basic, like auto insurance, home insurance, those kinds of things, commissions for those kinds of policies are, somewhere between 10 and 15%. Like, that's somewhere that is a fair range of 10 to 15% for auto and home insurance. Pretty basic. Umbrellas as well. Those kind of all fall into the same category. Personal lines. Then we'll talk about the commercial lines. So commercial lines is like general liability, workers' comp, professional liabilities, those kinds of things on the commercial side, commercial properties, commercial auto, etc., etc. And those have a slight bit higher, commission structure. Those can range somewhere between like 12 and up to 25%. Even certain companies are like crazy. They pay great commissions up to 25%. That's amazing. We love selling those policies. Those are really nice commissions. And sometimes the premiums are bigger on these commercial accounts. There also tends to be a little bit less service demand because there's not as much updates and changes and ID card and all those things. Obviously, commercial auto, you need those. But anyways, that's commercial lines. So those two have their own, benefits to them. Their auto has a lot. Everybody's your customer. Not everybody has a business. Homeowners, renters, all those things. Everybody has an apartment. Everybody has a house. Everybody has those things. So like everybody's your customer. But then commercial lines, bigger premiums, better commissions. The commissions are a little bit better. And the big difference between the personal, commercial, and life insurance is that the personal and commercial, they have great renewals. Like, they renew at the same commission level or similar. They may drop off a bit, but you can expect your auto insurance next year, the policy to renew also around 10 to 15%. And commercial, same thing, like somewhere between 12 and 25%. Renewal, so like it's a little more sustainable. So my strategy, and this is what I've been building, and this is what I've been doing for the last 4 years, building up my agency, is laying the foundation with all my personal and commercial lines business and building as big of a P&C book as I possibly could, because I knew first and foremost I want the stability, I want the residual income to be in my agency, so that I can have sustainable payroll, sustainable paying for expenses, the money pretty guaranteed coming in. And so that's why the P&C is very important to build as a foundation, in my belief. And this is how the way I've just structured everything for myself. On the flip side, the life insurance policies also, decent premiums, term, whole life. Obviously, whole life has bigger premiums. And the commission structure on a life insurance policy is a lot different than the auto or home or a commercial. You can expect life insurance policies to be somewhere between 60, 70, 80%, even up to 110% of the premium. So if you sell a $100 policy, that's $1,200 a year, and let's just say you make 90 or 100% commission, you make $1,200 in commission. So lots more commission, a lot bigger commission. The only downside is on the renewal side, it doesn't renew the same way. So big pops up front and little renewal on the back end. This is kind of my strategy, and the way I've been building my own agency is building that P&C foundation. Now, establishing it with customers that are as high net worth and biggest businesses I can possibly bring into the agency. That's kind of been my goal, and just trying to get those are my clientele that I want to work with. And ultimately now I'm looking at them all and I'm like, I've already built these relationships. I know who they are. I love some of these people, truly like family and friends. And I'm like, okay, my parents, my family members, like I definitely recommend to them having life insurance. As a business owner specifically, if you're working with commercial lines, business owners, lots of times they don't have life insurance. Many companies have life insurance for their employees. As a business owner, you don't have life insurance for yourself or benefits for yourself. So one of the most important things that we sell our business owners and commercial lines products is life insurance. If, Mike, the plumber, were to pass away, how is his wife, Susan, what would Susan do in that situation? Like if he was gone, how would she step into the business? How would the business operate? How about the mortgage on the home? How much debt is still on the home? Like that would carry over and be left over to Susan. So we really want to make sure that these business owners and specifically these commercial products have the coverage in the event that Mike, or let's just say Susan, runs her own business too, and Mike is just doing his thing, and Susan is the breadwinner, and boom, Susan's gone. What's Mike going to do? Like he's going to have to step up and maybe even sell the house, or those are the kind of situations that we don't want to see. And I think that those, when they do, because it's inevitable, like life happens, people pass away, these situations happen. And our job as insurance advisors is to make sure that we at least presented that opportunity and say, hey, Mike, real quick, man, like one of the most important things that we do for our commercial business owners, our small business owners, anybody who runs a business, is asking them about life insurance, protecting the family, covering the how much debt do you still owe money on the house? Do you have any, is there still outstanding mortgage on the home? How long until you pay it off? 10, 20, 30 years. Let's get you a 10-year term, for $500,000. It's like $60 a month, man. I definitely think it's important to protect your family, et cetera, et cetera. Like those are the uncovering questions. First and foremost, like what would Susan do if you passed away, Mike? Also, like, do you have debt on the home? How much debt is on the home? How long until you pay it off? Especially if you have their homeowner's insurance, you can already see if they have a mortgage on there. It's pretty easy to do. So really important to kind of dig and understand the needs, and then being like, hey man, my recommendation, let's get you a 20-year term. You got 20 years left on the mortgage. You still owe about $400,000 on it. Let's get you a 20-year term for, $500,000, just to make sure that no matter what, the mortgage is covered. If something happens to you, Susan can have the home. She won't have to sell the home, and also some extra money to survive, because living expenses these days are obviously getting more and more with inflation and all that. So really important to make sure that you ask these business owners find out what their needs are, and give them that option. You do not want to be sitting there one day and Susan calling and saying, hey, Chris, just calling. I just wanted to let you know, Mike got in an accident. He passed away. By any chance, did he buy life insurance? And you have to sit there and say, Susan, we never asked him. We never asked him about the life insurance. And that, just don't ever be in that situation. Like, I hope this wakes you up right now and makes you look at your book of business and look at your customers and say, these are people you truly care about. And doing this actually from the bottom of your heart, it's one of the most important things we do as insurance advisors. And giving them a call and just saying, hey, Mike, I know I've never asked you, but it's one of the most important things. What do you got for your life insurance right now? Have you ever thought about it? Do you have something? And then making note in your management system that you did, so that when that call does come up, just say, Susan, we tried. We asked him a couple times, and he just didn't want, he did not want the coverage. I'm sorry to hear about the situation, and that's that. And at least then you can sleep well at night knowing that you gave an effort to try to make that happen. And if you don't, that's the shitty part, and you don't want to be in that spot where you didn't even try. So that's on you as an insurance advisor. Make sure that your people are asked the questions, given the opportunities so that you can help them. And then in return, yeah, you make a great commission. It's awesome. And that's just the benefit of the value you're bringing. Like, you bring more value, you'll get more in return. That's my belief. You put out good into the world, good will come back to you. That's it. Like, that's kind of my belief. And if it doesn't, that's fine. At the end of the day, like, you do the right thing with no expectations of anything in return. That's how I like to live my life. I make these videos. I don't always see any, returns, anything great coming from it for me, in my benefit. But I do feel like just sharing these little experience nuggets of value will one day somehow benefit me and come back to me. And if they don't, I don't care. I'm just glad I'm documenting my process and keeping stuff for my own knowledge too. Like, I'll watch this back one day and be like, yep, that's right. That's like, I was on some good stuff at that time. And so I believe this is good stuff. I believe that if you think about it this way, you'll do great stuff and sell more, make more money, help more people. Ultimately, like, that's really what we're here for. So hopefully this motivates you a little bit to get on the phone, pick up the phone, call your top customers and say, hey, real quick, just wanted to review stuff with you, check in with you. How's everything going? Hey, by the way, all is good with the policy. And real quick, I wanted to ask you, what do you have? One of the things, most important things we do ask is, like, what do you got for life insurance? Boom. You don't want to just jump straight into that. Like, kind of build some rapport, talk to them about their policy, review stuff. By the way, I noticed you don't have life insurance. What do you have? Boom. Like, that's a good little transition. By the way, I noticed you don't have it. That's that. And then if they say, nah, man, I don't want it, fine. Don't worry. It's all good. Like, you tried your best, and that's that. But if they say, yeah, dude, I've been thinking about it, and that's it. Like, you open the door. Now the conversation's open. Get them some quotes. Get them a small term policy. Just get them at least something small to get in the, get them protected. That's all I got. Hopefully that helps you. This is where my motivation, my mindset is. Build a strong foundation on the P&C. Then look at your book, and now this is where I'm at in my career now. I'm like, this is the next thing. Like, P&C has been built, not even to the point where I want it to be. We're just passing, 2 million. We're going for 3 now. And now I'm like, okay, we need to add life insurance. Like, all these people need life insurance, and I haven't asked everybody yet. So I'm going through that right now, and this is kind of where my head's at, and hopefully that helps you, and focus on the services that you have to offer and take advantage of the opportunities that life has to offer, because every single day and every morning there are opportunities in front of you, and it's just a matter of, like, are you going to wake up and grab them and have the right mindset and take control of your mind, control of your body, and execute and be what you want to be, and not just talk the talk, but actually walk what you think. If you're thinking all these good thoughts and thinking all these positive things, make sure you're executing and acting the way you're thinking. So it's one thing to just think about it, and there's another thing to walk the think, So walk the think. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's all I got. We'll see you guys at the top. Peace.